and then I got to distinguish. It's all about distinguishing between.
I don't know when we can do commenting. Do you want to keep talking and you're going to open it up? I have a lot of things I like right now. I want to.
Okay, maybe if you want to ask question and.
Well, oh gosh, I don't know where to begin. Yeah, I know Ilana, and I've done Encounter. I just to say so.
Okay.
And I'm an American Jew, but I'm also an Israeli citizen because I lived here, and maybe I'll return. So the distinctions, I think. I mean, you're telling your story, and it's very good to hear and interesting. But first you said the distinction between an Israeli and Judaism, and I think you're very sophisticated, so I think you understand that for American Jews and for Jews everywhere, I don't think Judaism is a religion. It is a religion, but I'm sure you've heard this, that I think for most of us, it's not our religion, it's our culture, our nationality, it's not like Christian. To me, being a Jew is like for you being an Arab. Or maybe even for me being a Jew is like for you being a Palestinian. Because because the Jewish religion is part of the Jewish nation, but so the state was supposed to be a place for the Jewish people, and as you know, some of the Jews living in this state are religious and some are completely secular. I'm just imagining if Dorit was sitting here, because she would say, I don't want you to label me as the Israeli, because I don't know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but I know in my experience of talking to Palestinians in all my years here, there is this idea that many have that like Jewish is like Muslim or Christian, but no, Jewish is like Palestinian for me. Or like Arab. It's not just like, it's not a belief system, it's a culture and a nation, and I just wanted to throw that in.
And the people.
It's a people, it's an it's a ummah, it's like the ummah.
Nation,
It's a nation. And I don't know if the question of, I don't know what more to say, there's just so, it's all.
No, I know what I get what you're trying to say, and for me, I totally understand, but for me as a Palestinian, there is a difference between the Israeli, political system, let's say, and Judaism. Because Israel today represents the Jewish nation, let's say, and what Israel is doing is for Palestinians is totally wrong. And when I see there is a Jewish people, they are in solidarity with me. So this is the distinguish. When I see there is a Jewish people, they are in solidarity with Palestinian, and they are rejecting the Israeli policy or the Israeli occupation. That's when I got to understand, there is Jewish people who are against Israel policy, but not against their belief system or against their nation. Because there is a huge difference between the political circumstances that Israel is leading against, or let's say the Israeli system that is taking against the Palestinian. And for me as a Palestinian, it's very important to see that there is a Jewish people who are standing against this system and calling for equal rights, different than those who are serving in the army and living in settlements, and they don't even see the existence of the Arabs or the Palestinian. And for me, this was the life change when I got to distinguish that, okay, there is a Jewish people that they recognize my existence and they can stand with me against the injustice.
Yes.
And they are refusing the system that is, So yeah, but for me, I understand that for you, Judaism is a nation, is something, for you, you cannot give up or you cannot leave. But for me, is important to see the voices that is calling for equal right as well, or like for solidarity.
Even inside Israel.
Yes.
Just to let
Yeah,
you say,
that's
even
why.
inside Israel, there are people like
Yeah,
that.
so we have many friends, and this is why, like, we'll take you to the second, experience that I had during Holy Land Trust, when also I got invited to a peace conference, and the peace conference was about bringing Palestinian and Israeli to meet, and we were 4 Palestinian and 4 Israeli, and I don't know, can you guess where the meeting took
Beit
place?
Jala or Beit Sahur?
No,
Yericha.
Right here, right here.
no.
Schweiz.
Because, like in,
You can't go.
according to the law, Israeli are not allowed to be here.
You went to the
And
United
Palestine,
States.
we are not allowed to go there, so we had to fly all the way to Sweden.
Sweden.
To a small town called Umeå, north of Sweden, in a very cold winter.
Oh no. All dark.
But in a
everything.
5-star hotel next to the river. It was very fancy meeting. And it was the first time, literally, for me, getting out of the West Bank to meet an Israeli face to face, and other than the soldiers.
And when was that?
2009, I believe,
Wow.
or 2000, when we went to Auschwitz,
2014
yeah, before Auschwitz, so it was, maybe
قبل ما أنا أشتغل
2010,
معكم
Yeah.
2008
2008, and you can't imagine like how the meeting took place. So it's supposed to be a peace conference, bringing Israeli and Palestinian to meet, to get to know each other, and the meeting turned over, like that we were pointing the fingers of each other, that you did this, you were wrong, and you're like you did this in 1948, you did this in 1967. So it was about claiming and showing who's powerful and who has the right and who's right and who's wrong. And ended up, that, and that's actually how most of the peace projects take place. Bringing an Israeli and Palestinian. Yeah, they can be friends, but they are not tackling the main core of the core of the issue. The anger, the fear, the trauma that need to be released in a safe place. And that's why after coming back,
Was it
So-
all men?
no, we were me, Ahmed, Lubna, Rana. Yeah, two female, 2 male.
And on the other side?
Yeah, it was mix,
Mhm.
male and female. I remember now, like the names, Gal and there are some of them are on my Facebook. But we didn't meet after that meeting took place.
Wow.
But then I came back and I got an invitation, me and Saeed with Sami, that we had this conversation with Sami that I will never join such projects. Like it's not helping, and it's just wasting your time and money for nothing. Like that's why Sami encouraged us to go to Auschwitz and Birkenau for a Zen retreat. It's a bearing witness retreat.
Yeah.
I told them about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and Saeed, we've been there.
Yeah.
I've been before you. So,
No, together.
together.
Yeah.
And then you went after, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a life, 10 days life change, it's a it's an eye-opening, and it's, for me as a Palestinian, I couldn't imagine the amount of pain and suffering that the Jewish people had to go through. It was very horrific that I couldn't imagine like what happened. But for me, the same time, like I was asking, okay, never again, but never again for everyone.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
And seeing the Israeli kids, I don't know if you shared the
Yes, I
story.
shared it,
Yeah,
yeah.
like that they're coming with their flags and with their teachers telling them never again. And they go back to Israel and they start the military service, and then inside their belief system that they have to do everything they can to protect the state of Israel. And Jewish nation. And standing in the checkpoint, they see me as I am the threat. And this is how we keep, as I said, feeding the fear that we need to heal this trauma. And that this is why we developed this trauma healing program, where we bring Israeli and Palestinian for a safe space to share our pain, to share our suffering with an open heart, without judgment, and to put yourself in the shoes of the others. And that's actually the moment when I realized what Jesus meant by loving your enemy. So loving your enemy is not taking your enemy to a 5-star hotel and spend a week and become a friend in a Facebook. Loving your enemy is to put yourself in the shoes of your enemy and to be part of the healing journey that your enemy needs. You need to understand the source of the source of pain and trauma that your enemy is going through, and to put yourself in his shoes and understand what pain is going through. At the same time, the Israeli and the Jewish people need to put themselves in the shoes of the others, of the Palestinian, and to understand why the Palestinians are acting like that. It's not because we are learning in the school to be violent or to hate. Nothing in our criteria says anything against the Jew, but it's the trauma that that Palestinians are living in is in motivate fear and violence and hate. And this is what our leaders need to work on, bringing people together and responding to the needs. And this is why, maybe to summarize, I want to finish but this is why, if you connect, this is our vision, to fostering peace and justice and equality based on, equal right and honoring the dignity for all people in this land. It's not honoring the dignity of the Palestinian only, but honoring the dignity of all people in this land. And we do this through all the projects that Saeed mentioned, under the trauma, under the empowering, using non-violence as a tool.
We're aware of the trauma, we're aware because we, like this genocide